What does world-class real estate look like to you?
Is a commitment to excellence when it comes to service.
It's do what you say you're going to do.
Estate agency that is delivering a really high level of service, customer service, a really high level of property marketing.
Being an all-rounder with regard to digital marketing as well.
Great agency belongs to personal agents operating in an entrepreneurial way, using tech, but keeping that personal touch and delivering first-class services for their clients.
Everything from service to marketing.
It's about bringing the absolute most that you can bring in any moment.
Really knowing who you are, knowing your lane, being really clear on your proposition and what makes you stand out, and then delivering that message relentlessly.
Thank you to Iceberg Digital for sponsoring the podcast and making all this possible. Hello and welcome to another episode of the World Class Real Estate Podcast. We are back in Bracknell face-to-face for our third episode of the day. I'm Mauro, joined by Ian Macbeth, and we are very fortunate to have Ryan and Sanjay from Avocado Property based here in Bracknell. Hello, gents. Thank you for coming. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mark.
Home turf, guys. Home turf. So should be very comfortable, this conversation, I would think. I'm going to leave you with the punchline, though.
Who wants to go first, then?
Go on, ask me. I've rehearsed. No.
Can I ask him? I never get to ask.
Yeah, go on then.
Ask me the question.
Ryan,
do you know what it is?
Ryan Bloomfield, what does world-class real estate look like to you?
Right, I have given it some thought. World-class real estate looks to me, when you've got clients that you've worked with before, and they are proactively and actually going out there, telling people how good you are, being your advocates, bringing you more business recommendations. That to me is what world-class real estate is.
So when you're creating super fans, as we like to call it,
yeah.
People that tell your story for you is a powerful, powerful thing, isn't it? When it's a good story.
Yeah.
Those Raving fans. Sanjay, anything to add?
Well, I was going to say something very, very similar.
I mean, it's the idea of a partnership, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, to be fair, as long as you've got the same morals, which is exactly that. So I've had recently, there's been a couple of situations where I like looking at chains and links. So when I look at world-class, high quality, when you have a client that's been recommended 4 times away, like their mum who's recommended by their daughter, who's kind of come through the link, that to me is world-class in my opinion. And that, you're not even involved in that, you're just there doing your job.
So how do you build that? How can you proactively go out, and if you're sat there, if you're wanting to start an estate agency today, you think world class is build raving fans, a referral network like you've talked about. How have you guys gone about building that, and is that something that you can do really intentionally, or is that just the result of delivering world-class customer service?
I think for me it's kind of part and parcel of the self-employed territory, because we're there on a day-to-day basis with all of our clients from start to finish. Like, we've got years and years of experience between us. We're both good at what we do, and when we're dealing with customers from what they've previously gone through when they sold or bought before, like, they're just thinking, oh, this is like so good, and they like want to tell people the story. And I think that's. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's more the case that I always say, do right by the client and you'll always win. It's just really as simple as that. And I do feel like a lot of the time it is overcomplicated, especially in our industry, as we all know. There's a lot of toing and froing and mishaps and miscommunication and lies and all this deceitfulness. When actually, if you just tell the truth right from day one, reality is that's how you get the chain of links, because if you're doing right by them, they're going to know you're doing right by them, and then pass it on to whoever they're speaking to, and that's how it builds.
Yeah. There's 2 C's that we hear a lot: communication and consistency. And I think in estate agency, communication, like you just said there, a lot of people shy away from the difficult questions, or the difficult conversations, I should say. In estate, a lot of estate agents don't want to have that hard conversation, do they? They kind of shy away from it, and then it becomes just marginally bigger to the point where it's a problem. But if you just get to it straight off the bat, that seems to help. What for you guys? Obviously, we're in your home turf. We joke about, but Avocado, Bracknell, Sanjay, Ryan. It's been going for many, many years now, and obviously I see the valuation levels come through. It's very, very high. What is the reason that people are recommending you? What is the crux? I know what you're saying about self-employed, but what is the reason that people are going, look, use Ryan or use Sanjay? What's that feedback that you get in that referral network?
I had one recently where I went out to evaluation and I said, look, how did you hear about us? And she actually said, well, I just went on to a local Facebook group, one that I'm actually not in. We'll cover that later.
You are now.
She checked recommendations for estate agents, and she saw the thread, and it was literally just Avocado, Ryan and Sanjay, and there was literally she said there was about 30 or 40 recommendations and about 50 comments, which, you know, that's coming from all of our existing clients and people who have worked with us and people who have been recommended us, and you know, we're just standing back and doing our job. So
we get recommendations for people that have never even worked with us. We don't even know who they are.
Yeah,
like there's some people on social media that are just following our page and just consistently pushing us out there. Sort of list of our USPs, but I think our marketing as well has always helped with obviously recommendations, because people see the effort we go into it, and we're always trying to up our levels in terms of the videos we do. You know, drones, different type of imaging, behind the scenes shots. Like, it's all the stuff we're pushing. I think clients that work with us generally see that we care. And I think that's probably the key. And they want to pass that message on to other people who are maybe not having as positive experience.
And I'm intrigued about the partnership and where that came from, and the history, how you got together, and also how it works. Does one of you do one part of the business? Does one of you do the other? Can you just explain to me a little bit about your history, how you ended up in the partnership, and then also how it works?
We've probably got a different story for this, haven't we? So do you want me to tell your... mine's a sad story because you rejected me, and then... well, you could start if you were.
This is where we get divorced, right? No. So basically the story is, you can go through the setup if you like, but the story from my perspective is that I've been in Bracknell since we were month 3, I think, when I joined, when we originally launched Avocado. And obviously I was a solo partner. So I was by myself, and I was kind of doing like overflow, and I lived locally. So I was trying to do sort of in and around Bracknell and surrounding villages. Then I had to get a new partner in. So, because I had so much going on and I just couldn't deal with the amount that I was getting, which was great. It's a great problem to have. But at the same time, that partner, I was with her for about 2 years. Then we went on to someone else, and then I met a few people, and obviously Ryan was already in the network. So then obviously, we just carried on from there. So it's kind of just been an amalgamation of a journey, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, from my side, so I came to business 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago. So I initially launched with my wife, actually. So I'm based over in Reading.
Now they're divorced, no joke.
No, we're not. If you won't listen to this, it's fine. I can say what I want. Which you might do if I say I'm on it. Anyway.
Moving on.
Quick.
This is why Opus is a problem. Sometimes the AI clips just get the wrong bit, and I've had this when I've mentioned my wife on it before. Anyway, sorry.
Right, we start again. So I'm from Bracknell originally, but live over in Reading. So I launched over in the area with her. We did it for about a year and a half, 2 years together. Decided it probably wasn't the best course of action. I was probably easier to go on my own. She went off back, did her working in her school, which she likes to do. And then obviously the opportunity came up to join Sanjay in Bracknell, which was, I just kind of worked. Like, it was just when Lauren was just leaving, and I was like, right, this is a good stage for me. This is a good opportunity. Back to my roots in Bracknell. And that was 2.5 years ago now, wasn't it? 2 and a bit years ago.
Because you grew up here and you'd worked here as an agent, right? So it's kind of more of a connection than where you're actually living at the moment. The balance of how you guys operate, because Mark probably is quite interested in that side of things as a duo. The duos at Avocado, some work where they both do the same thing, but they share the volume. Some where, someone does the vows, someone does the after. Like, there's all different stuff. I actually don't know the answer to this with you guys. So what is your setup?
I think we're pretty clued up to it now. So effectively, what we do, correct me if I'm wrong here, valuation lead comes in, we literally go 1 for 1. So one comes in to Sanjay, one comes in to me, and then we'll deal with it from there, unless we've got a pre-existing relationship with the client or whatever it may be. But that's generally how we work. One of us will list the house, get the business. We both go around and do the take on together. So I generally do floor plans and photos. You do the videos and the content and that sort of things and the behind the scenes stuff. And then whoever's brought the property on the market effectively becomes the lead. So I'll do if it's my listing, I'll do all the write-up. Predominantly, we do most of the viewings, the sales progression. That's kind of how it works. But Sanjay's there to back up, and then vice versa. Fair representation.
Yeah, literally exactly that. There's not really, I feel like now with Ryan, as opposed to my previous partner, it's pretty much 50-50 split. And it's quite a good firm, even though I might do slightly more marketing, where you might be doing something slightly more else. But it kind of balances itself out for sure.
I think we go through peaks and troughs. Currently at the moment, I've got a lot more that's mine for sale compared to yours, but then you're dealing with more sales going through, and then I'll sell all mine and you'll have more listings, and then it kind of just works around. But ultimately we're 50-50 in everything we do. We're both there to support each other for everything, but we kind of got our own clients, haven't we, at the same time?
So but you both go round to do the take on. What's the thinking behind that? That you both see the property, so you can both recommend it to potential buyers. Was that the logic behind that?
Yeah, and I also hate taking pictures. I'm just noting it. I figured that out. Like, I'm never that good. So Ryan is very, very good at photo taking and photography, whereas I'm very, very good at the video side of it. Yeah. So it's quite nice to have that balance between us both on the instruction. And obviously, in order to your question, if I'm not available on holiday or something and he needs to go and do the viewings or whatever, then he can just go and do it. And he's already got an existing relationship with the owners. He's met them. Like,
it's
vice versa.
It's important for the clients to know both of us, because ultimately they're buying into, whether it's Sanjay or Ryan on the valuation, they're buying into Ryan and Sanjay Avocado. Yeah. So we're all there as a team, we're all in the WhatsApp groups together. So it's good, important for clients to meet both of us and get a feel for it. Absolutely.
We've spoken to another self-employed agent today, and we were talking about doing more for the client, having more communication directly with the client, but using software, outsourcing, infrastructure to allow you in the back end stuff as a self-employed agent to do less of that, so you can give the clients more of your time. What have you guys implemented over the last year in terms of outsourcing and any software or tech? What have you invested in your business, time and money wise, that are helping you guys do more business ultimately?
Definitely sounds like a question for you.
The biggest one was the video editor. Yeah. Like, we spend obviously a lot of time on video making, content creation. And that always took a lot of time to sit down and edit. Takes time out your day. Once we got to a point where we were so busy with actual clients doing the actual job, you're taking another hour, 2 hours out of your day to edit a video. Plus you got calls coming in. Like, I just couldn't do it. So that was kind of main priority, wasn't it? And we kind of trialed a few people, but that was the main one really, is video editing. We've got someone who's potentially going to deal with our sales progression as well, come in and help us with that as well, because obviously that is a big time consuming part of it as well. So yeah, there's a few bits, and there's a few more bits in the pipeline as well, isn't there?
Any kind of software or AI that you've
I know obviously chat comes up a lot on this podcast, isn't it? But I think we've adopted chat GPT a little bit, certainly with like property writes up and descriptions and stuff. Like, we can just put it in, say this is the property, give us all the information. Obviously we tailor it a little bit to the individual properties, but generally that comes out quite well. I won't say client responses, because obviously that's all still us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you mentioned sales progression there. We were talking off camera just about some of the problems that you've got in this local area at the moment. Do you want to just explain what they are, and then we'll go into how you could possibly be dealing with those?
Yeah. Do you want to do that, Sean?
So basically, our Bracknell Forest Council, our lovely council, have they're lovely, aren't they? Yeah, sure. No, we actually have a client who works with the council as well, so we do really love they basically have tried to change over the system, so land searches are a massive thing as part of the process. Unfortunately, they've been on hold since mid-January, so we're kind of just getting backed up with loads of sales not being able to go
4 months,
through.
Because we've
4 months, not a single local search has gone out for
and still to this day, when we're recording this, there's still no searches being provided. Hence, there's no one that needs to get searches that are using a lender are able to get their sale purchased through in Bracknell Forest Council. Now, we have had a solution recently where we're introducing or suggesting delayed search indemnity policies, which is basically an insurance policy for you to get through. Some solicitors don't like it, so that's still a bit of a blocker. Some lenders don't like it, that's still a bit of a blocker. But yeah, that's kind of how we're overcoming it at the moment.
And how are the sales going that are in this process? Obviously, everyone's in the same boat with it, but as we know, time can kill these deals. Has it decimated the pipeline? What's the general feeling from buyers and sellers out there about this issue?
Obviously, I think for us, we've been quite forthcoming with keeping people updated. We've done lots of videos on social media explaining what's happening, giving people solutions, not just our clients, but just every seller in Bracknell, just trying to help them out really, or every buyer. Fortunately, we've been all right with our sales. We haven't had like an implode. There's nothing's fallen through just yet. It's just a case of everyone understands the situation that they're in, and you just got to manage timescales. I'm not saying none of them will fall through, but what we're experiencing the opposite. Our pipeline is just bottlenecking. Yeah. And whilst we've had a couple of go through recently with indemnities, it's getting to that stage now where it is just quite a lot going on.
But also, just to add on that, I was speaking to someone who viewed a house with me the other day, and they said to me that they were buying a house in Bracknell, and they didn't know about this search indemnity. The land search is not happening until 2 weeks ago, and they've been purchasing that since February.
Oh God.
And I cannot stress, like, the reason why we haven't had sales fall through as of yet, touch wood, that because the communication, you just have to tell people straight.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm like? I'm super direct with clients and buyers. And I just say, look, this is the situation. These are the potential options, your solutions, just to keep you the heads up.
Yeah.
And then every week we're just updating. Even if we've got no update, we're still saying, this is the no update, but this is what we're doing. You know, and I can't stress that enough. And it was sad to see that when that lady come for review, and I was just like, you've just wasted like thousands of pounds.
But I think, again, obviously a couple of points we made already, but the fact with our pipeline is, it's a fair amount, but between the two of us, we probably got 10, maybe 11 cases each that we're dealing with. Like, it's manageable.
Yeah.
Like, I dread to think what some of the other ones with, the corporates with a sales progressor or someone who's dealing with this and they're dealing with 100, 150 cases going
drowning
through.
under it.
Yeah. I mean, how can you possibly update everyone there? And I think that's, again, why, coming back to all those points we talked about recommendations, like, we are there for our clients through the good and the bad. Like, yes, we want to get the sales exchange in 4 weeks, complete in 6 and get paid, obviously. But actually, if it takes a little bit longer and they're for the clients, then so be it. That's what has to happen.
You mentioned about broadcasting it and telling the public as well. And that got, I guess, that messaging that you put has been picked up by the national press. And I saw, obviously, you do an interview with the BBC, and I think maybe there was another paper that was printed in as well. Do you think that's something that as agents, especially self-employed agents, people really need to understand the value of? Because I still feel that a lot of the agency industry in the UK don't see the value of that sort of stuff. They kind of go, it's irrelevant.
Old-fashioned.
Yeah. Where did that come about? Have people even mentioned it to you? Has anyone mentioned, I saw you in X, Y, or Z?
Yeah.
You know, how important has that been?
I mean, we were really gunning to be in the newspaper, old school.
I would have preferred a different topic. I love all that, don't I? Yeah, so we were contacted by the BBC just for a quote, basically, and I went back and forth a couple of times, and then next day it's advertised and it was picked up by the press. I was in the Guardian as well, same quotes. They didn't ask my permission, but that's cool. Like, each to their own.
Yeah, royalties coming soon.
Yeah, indeed. But I think more like overall, it's important to be kind of the face of it and just show that we are. You're coming back to that caring side of things. Like, we want this situation resolved, not just for us, but for our clients and for the people of Bracknell. So, like, anything we could do to help, and that's why we'd spent time doing the videos and editing those to make sure we can just help and advise people. I think that was really the crux of it. And I think it shows more that maybe like estate agencies, people have a bit of a bad name, a bad rap, that they're only there for themselves. And I think we're probably trying our best to change that, the way people view us and see the industry overall. I think any agency, it was great. There's loads, lots of running events happening mostly at the moment, and lots of estate agents running for good causes. Press, it's always a good thing. But not much of the good press is always looked at. It's always the bad stuff. So anything any agent can do to improve the industry and the name it's given, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You're getting ahead of it as well, aren't you? You're providing people with the information, even if they're your client or not. And that's the great thing about social and the video platform. Is there any solution on the horizon for this issue?
No, is the short answer. Last update on Friday, they do a little update on Friday. The first 2 months, there was nothing, like no response from the council, just buried their heads in the sand.
How did you find out? One of your solicitors just said.
Honestly, it was, so the issue happened third week of January. So we're getting to like end of Feb and go, hang on a minute, why searches, I'm chasing solicitor for inquiries to go, I haven't got searches back yet. I was like, it's been 6 weeks, what are you talking about? And then suddenly it was only like early March, wasn't it, when it was like 1 case, then 3, then 5, then suddenly we've got 7 cases outstanding searches and go, hang on a minute, there's a problem here. And it literally over the space of probably about 2 weeks, it kind of erupted, didn't it? And then became a massive issue. So the council have started,
So they didn't get ahead of their comms then, obviously.
No, not at all. And then they have now doing these press releases every Friday, aren't they? Like a little comment on their website saying, we're still trying to fix the problem. We think there'll be a solution next week. No, there won't be.
I mean, there's been countless times where our clients have actually emailed the MP of Bracknell, and they are getting responses, but it's the same copy and paste response, and it's just quite jarring to hear after a while.
No one wants to take accountability. No one at all. And there's no absolute response. Excuse me. No response at all. So
is that the MP?
That was.
He's checking in. Right, I saw you in the BBC. I've got an answer for it. Pivoting away from that slightly, I'm interested because I've always been really passionate about really good estate agents not leaving the industry, career-long agents that have done 5-10 years that have left the industry, and I kind of see the disappointment in it. Sanjay, for you, obviously me knowing your background story, you did agency, at the independent, we worked at the same place, and then you effectively fell out of love with it and kind of left, and then you went and did some other stuff, and then you've kind of come back into it. I think that's quite a common story for a lot of people, and I would imagine there's a lot of people that did love agency, and I talk to them sometimes with the Avocado setup where they're now looking to come back into it because being self-employed allows you to run your business, invest in the marketing, be part of the brokerage, so it's kind of more cost effective, and you can do it your way. Just talk me through that kind of thought process. First of all, why did you initially leave the industry?
I think I definitely fell out of love with it. I'm not going to go as far as saying I hated it, but I definitely started resenting my job because it just became very transactional, very numbers driven. And you just end up like, I don't want to make 100 calls a day. Like, I'm not a salesy person like that. I'm really not, like a numbers game. I just can't stand it personally. I'd rather drive quality than quantity. And when I left, I kind of was like, what other options do I have? You go and do it somewhere else in a different office or a different area. You're still doing the same thing, aren't you? It was exactly the same across the board. And that's why when I did eventually come back to it, and we sat down and did that podcast, and I was like, oh, actually, hold on, this is a little bit different, and I can run my own business, and I can run my own diary, and the clients get better value for money. It's a little bit scary. Is it something? And I sat down with it, and it was kind of a bit of a no-brainer. So logistically and like personal wise, like you do go in that space where what can I do that's something similar but not agency? Recruitment's always the obvious one, isn't it? I did recruitment for a year, hated it. Then you come back to it. So it was kind of that swing, and then I was just like, do you know what? You kind of do see the real value of being self-employed, and you do see the real value not just to us and our lifestyle, but to our clients, and how you can actually just build on that. And it's just gone from strength to strength, really.
I think for you, Ryan, you had your daughter around a similar sort of time where you were looking, a bit like me, looking left and right to see how do I get out of this? What difference can I do? You were one of the first agents to go into the Purple Brick self-employed setup, weren't you? Was that for that reason? You were looking for freedom, or
exactly that? To be fair, I kind of got to the point where I'd been in agency for 10 years at that point. I was only mid-20s. Little was quite young. I wanted to spend a bit more time with her. And actually, Purple Bricks came up. I looked at it and go, do you know what? This is actually the future. This is brilliant. I think I was the 75th local property expert in the country. Bear in mind, they had thousands at one point. So I was very early on. So, went up to Birmingham, the HQ there, did 2 weeks of training with, a few of the well-known figures in the industry now, for good and bad reasons, obviously. You can cut that out if you want. Leave it on. I don't care.
We'll keep it.
But I think that I knew I was a good lister. I was a good agent. I knew what I was doing. Why my time at Purple Bricks didn't work was that company was moving so quickly, but also there was no information or how to run a business or how to manage numbers. I was like, money comes in each month, great, straight into my account. Didn't realise I had to save for tax and do this, do that. And it just mucked me up financially. So I had to leave. I didn't quite have a breakdown, but I was struggling financially, mentally. So I thought I'd go back to where I was before, which obviously where we worked together for years. And obviously, that was great. And then moved up through the ranks quite quickly back there. So, and then obviously did this. So
what was the training like then?
I have to say, decent, really good. It was a big commitment. So you had to go up to Solihull where the HQ was for 2 weeks, so Monday to Friday. And you do basically 2 weeks of intense training, and it's effectively stripping back. You've got a basic agency, you should have had quite a good agency knowledge, but most people had a good level of agency knowledge. Just put it that way. And they teach you the offering, the company, the pitch, how it all should work, how the processes work. I gave you a laptop, gave you all the setup. Actually, those early days, I still think that company could have gone somewhere. I appreciate they're still trading now, but different outfit entirely. But it's effectively, the self-employed model is almost a similar to what that would have been, just on a more localized scale in some instances, and probably better for people. But it was. I haven't got anything bad to say about it. I learned a lot from my time there, and the stuff I still use in my pitching these days, basically.
And for you guys, then, if you were to, now we've got a little bit of context of what you're doing today and with clients and how it works and obviously the background. Sanjay, for you, if you were to talk to little Sanjay when he was getting into agency back in the day, now in 2026, what kind of advice would you give to younger Sanjay getting into it, going to the independent, the corporate, the purple bricks, the self-employed, whatever it may be, what advice would you give them? Don't do it.
Honestly, I know. Honestly, I genuinely say don't do it. Like, I do genuinely feel what you're taught there is wrong. What the setup is, in my opinion, is wrong because it doesn't benefit clients and it doesn't benefit you. I mean, if you really want a basic trainee salesy job, then fine, go and do it for a year and just see how much, I'm not being funny, but what experience you're going to get from delivering leaflets? Like for 2 hours in the morning, right? What trainers you should probably wear? No, you can't. You have to wear shoes. Like, it's just, I personally think it's ridiculous. And also, just going back to the salesy part of it, like if you're doing 100 calls a day, okay, fine, that works in some businesses. But in my opinion, when I speak to clients now, they are sitting there getting 20 calls a day from agents and they don't like it. They don't like it. They hate it. So for me, there's no value in that. So if I was actually wanting to do it like 5-6 years ago, like younger me, I would say actually just go and do like a self-employed model where you do get training right off the back of it. In my opinion, that's the route I would take.
You don't pick up any bad habits. Like, let's be honest, selling houses, the process is fairly straightforward, isn't it? Like, you do it once, you've done it 100 times. I appreciate that people change and scenarios change, but fundamentally, the legal process is the same. Marketing a house is the same. So why learn bad traits from the start? You may as well go in somewhere and learn a career, because this is what this could be, like this, opportunity. It's a fantastic job. I know you fell out of love with it. I've always loved estate agency. 18 years I've done it now. Never thought about doing anything different. It's the best thing ever. And then this side, the self-employed side is just like, wow, this is awesome. Lifestyle's great. You get to work as much as you want or as little as you want, but normally you're working more than you used to, but you care about what you do. So,
and be prepared. It's a lot more stressful doing it self-employed. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
But you do get the rewards off the back of it. So it's almost like, I definitely price. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
If you're an estate agent listening to this, I want you to think about something for a second. Are you and your team busy, or are you actually being productive? Because most agencies right now are drowning in admin, juggling disconnected systems, chasing portal leads, and wondering why profits aren't where they really should be. Iceberg Digital have taken a completely different approach. Instead of selling another CRM, they've built what they call an AI operating system for estate agents, combining prospecting, marketing, CRM, compliance, even websites into one connected ecosystem. The goal? To increase your revenue per employee, because the agencies that win over the next few years won't be the ones working harder, they'll be the ones working smarter, with systems that actually do the heavy lifting. If you want to future-proof your agency instead of just surviving the next market shift, go and book a demo at icebergdigital.co.uk. That's icebergdigital.co.uk.
What's next then? What's next for Ryan and Sanjay now? Now you've got the established, the bottlenecked pipeline, but now you've got the established market. You've got obviously a limited business which is delivering. It's now got credit rating. You've got a professional accountant working on your numbers. You're investing in your marketing, etc., etc. What's kind of the next steps for you guys in how you see it from life more than from agency? But what's it delivering to you over the next kind of 2 years?
So we got a big problem at the moment. We're actually like turning away business. And we have been doing that for a couple of years now. Obviously, a little bit more so now than it was 2 years ago, just because we solely just don't have the time to deal with it. So we're kind of maxed out in some areas. So our goal is to basically try and get some help, expand, do something a bit different where we can kind of lead and help people kind of grow. That's kind of the goal. We've been talking about it for a while now, but that's kind of the goal we want to set ourselves down for, especially for the next couple of years.
I think we've been very protective over what we've created in the area, just the standards, the marketing. We talk about most of our business coming from recommendations, and we were always a bit worried that if someone else came into our area, then it was almost going to be like a dilution of what we've achieved over the last few years. And obviously, Sanjay, in more longer term than that. But I think it's got to the stage now where there's just more that can be done. So I think that's our probably short to mid-term goal is increase the size of our team locally, not just in Bracknell, but in the wider area. I think that's probably fair to say, isn't it? Yeah. And then I think for me over the next couple of years, it's still working hard. I mean, I'm 35. I plan on doing this another 5, 6, 7 years, building other team people around me, helping them sort of create their futures. You know, any agents that are doing it 5-6 years and just want to change and see the light, you know, that's where I see myself going. I think you're similar, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd like to start buying holiday homes. I don't know, I've just got really into it recently, and I feel like there's quite a lot of options out there, especially in this country. So yeah, that's another goal of mine.
Yeah, something I'm passionate about. Actually, we chat about
Is that why you spend so much time in Wales at the moment?
Avocado Wales.
You go checking them out, aren't you?
Yeah. I was there Friday. I want to talk about social media, just offering some value to the agents that are fearful of doing social media out there. You guys are obviously massive on social media. Sanjay, it's always been something that you've been very passionate and comfortable about, the video editing to the social media, and you've been quite interested in the analytics behind it as well. What delivers, what performs, how do you get maximum engagement? What would be the advice that you would give to agents that are kind of putting a toe in the water but unconfidently doing it at the moment?
We've all been there. It's as simple as that. You've been there, I've been there. Like, you know, when you first get on camera, it is daunting. It is a bit like, ugh. And you kind of just need to keep doing it until you find yourself comfortable with being in front of the camera. I can't stress that enough. I remember when I was doing those rant videos, and it's so authentic when it comes across like that. And when you do that, you emotionally connect with that person watching through the screen. And that's where business is going to come off the back of it every single time. So just keep doing it. Like, I can't stress that the consistency, and you know what you do get used to it. We weren't all born to, when social media, there was none of that here. So all of a sudden, you know, you can become good on social media. Ryan's even still a bit awkward now and again, you know, so I have to kind of, you know, tell him. But
it took Ryan about 2 years to stop being an estate agent.
The point is exactly what I was going to make. When I started with Sanj, he's like, mate, you're such an estate agent. Just be yourself. And I know still some of it creeps in, doesn't it? But it's funny with the social media. I was interesting point. Elaborate a little bit. We used to spend like hours like with the filming and making sure we say the right things and just create the perfect environment. The little videos we do with a run round where literally Sanjay follows me with a camera, we just speed it up. It takes seconds to edit. They're always our most popular videos.
They go viral, yeah.
Is that sprinting around? I've not seen any of the videos, so is that like sprinting around?
No, we do it in real time. So he'll just follow me round, and I'll be pretend to point this, point that. He's like, slow it down there, speed it up there, and then it takes about 2.5 minutes to film, and then you just put it on ×3 speed, ×4 speed.
Oh, so it looks like you're running around.
Yeah. And they take seconds to do, and they always like our last 3 like 100,000 plus videos have all been those sped up tours.
Yeah.
I don't think any of our big productions get anywhere near that.
And do you have a set video that you do for each house, or does it depend on the house? Some are like that, and then you mentioned some bigger productions. Are you concentrating on a hook within the first 3 seconds? Like, is it, or it just depend what you see on the day?
So minimum standard, they all get 2 videos.
Yeah.
You know, get the first intro video before it goes on the market. Obviously, our Beat the Portals videos. And then the other one is some form of film inside, whether a little intro, a little clip around the house, whatever it may be. But some of them we get like 5, 6, 7 properties, some videos. Depends on the property itself. Like,
I mean, if you've got like a well fancy kitchen, like a big open plan, like of course we're gonna be like, actually this is a bit more exciting and this is going to be a lot more engaging, let's do something fancy, and that's where we'll go and do the extra videos for it. But generally speaking, they all get.
But we'll film them all in one. Sometimes we'll go in there, so right, we just get the 2 done now, and we end up coming out with 5. Because you just do one. Sandy will just do one off the cuff while I'm doing the photos. Say, guys, look at this, look how sunny it is, look at this kitchen, whatever it may be, and they're the ones that just capture people. Yeah, and obviously we funnel them back into our CRM, and then we've got the details, and they're in.
And also the marketplace we're in, less is more.
Yeah.
Like I remember doing video stuff. You overthink it massively, but actually, when you strip it back, do less talking, and we get more engagement. Like when I look at the analytics, I'm like, oh, actually, we did nothing on that video, but it got so much more.
Yeah.
Like people are here to see the house, not see us.
Yeah.
Yep.
And with most estate agents, the process is whatever day it is, sign the contract, do the photos, get the take on booked in, do the photos as soon as you can. Get up through the CRM, launch on the portals, wait for the phones to ring, fingers crossed. What's your sort of launch process? Because I know this is something that you've always been really passionate about, kind of making sure that you are the ones in control. You dictate to the seller, this is how we launch properties, this is how we do it. What does that kind of look like for your clients?
I have a 12-day marketing plan initially when we launch a house, or And it's important that from the day of our marketing appointment, when we go and do the filming and go and do the photos, that's kind of the first day we're putting out the beat the portals. And every day after that, there is a process where we're drip feeding content, we're drip feeding marketing, we're drip feeding videos. I have a big thing. Ryan has a different opinion about this, but I have a big thing about not booking anyone in until an open day, because if you start booking people in, day 6, day 7, when actually the open day is day 12, you kind of want to maximize that. So that's kind of always my goal. And Joe, what sellers, they love it because you don't have to go around and clean up your house every 2 minutes. Done on a Saturday, we're getting maximum out of it, but they have to listen to us on price. They have to engage in that. If they're not, then it's just not for us. Like, I don't want to engage in this process, do all this work, and then get to the point where, you can't disappoint because you haven't got that much interest. Well, actually, I told you it was this. So it's important that we have that honest, open conversation with them for sure, right from the start.
And you mentioned earlier that you're at the point where you're turning business away. Is that because you've said, right, we can only deal with X amount of houses, or is it just that you think, right, we can't deliver good quality service? Is it because some of them maybe want their own price rather than the price where you think it is? How do you decide on the clients that you want to work with, and then what's the conversation like when you're telling someone that they're not going to work with you, or they have to wait? Maybe it's maybe.
So what's a nice way of saying it? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So normally we start with a conversation between us, but yeah, on that point we used to have a limit of 10.
Yeah,
that was like kind of 5 each. That was like we'd bring 10 on the market a month, sell 7 or 8. Great news. We've upped it. We're probably about maximum 50. I think we're about 12 at the moment, aren't we? Maximum 15. The way we look at it though is we almost educate clients on valuation if we get to that stage. Some we just say, look, unfortunately we are too busy. Like we're very honest with it. Leasehold, for example, tend not to deal with leasehold properties anymore.
Yeah,
we'll have one on the market maximum. We'll get that one sold, and then we might take another one on the market. But when people inquire for valuations, we're like, look, we're really sorry. We'd love to help, but we are effectively fully booked for 3 or 4 months. If you want to sell tomorrow, then here's some other agents I would suggest speaking to in Bracknell. That's tend to be how we work, but we're very much case by case. Like, we get a valuation lead in, I'll do a bit of research, I'll have a conversation and go, Sanj, this is the situation, what do you think? And vice versa. So that's tend to how we work. Like, we always want to give value. We always say we're always happy to help people, but just not every client is right for us.
And also, like, being quite blunt about this, if someone's completely unrealistic about what price they're, and we haven't been out there, like I was on the phone to a guy the other day for 20 minutes and he was really desperate to get me out there to value his home because he really, really wanted to use us. And I said to him, look, you've been on market for this amount of time, you're on for this price, you're not worth that.
Yeah.
Has your agent told you that? Well, yeah, they kind of have. Well, why are you being so unrealistic about it? Like, and I said to him, like, openly, I'm not going to waste my time if what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and the facts don't lie. Here's all the comparable evidence. And unfortunately, some people have this, and I get it, it's their home, they're obviously passionate about it.
It's a lot of money as well.
Yeah, exactly. But they have like this vision of how their home is portrayed and their price and how it's set up. I'm not here to dictate to them, and neither they should be dictating to me. We're here to just give advice and give you some value. If they want to take it, then great. If they don't, just no problem with us.
Did you go out to that valuation?
No, still for sale.
I remember the inquiries that come through where you get them through the website or a portal or whatever, and then at the bottom in the comments, inquiring about what the estate agent's fees are. Yeah. And you always know when someone's asked the call handler, like, well, what's the fee? I need to know the fee. You're like, that's just not going to be our client anymore. It's just not going to be. There's a funny one actually that was in, I know you're not in the Facebook group, which is because an estate agent sponsored the Facebook group and had you removed from the Facebook group, which you touched on earlier. But in that Facebook group, there was an anonymous one that went, I've been on the market for 4 months with an estate agent. We haven't managed to find a buyer. I don't want all the property video and the social media, and I don't want to pay more than 1%. Can anyone recommend an agent? And then you see this bit, and then people are saying you should get in contact with Avocado, but they are quite expensive.
Yeah.
So it's
people know
you have to kind of like weigh up that little bit, because Bracknell's a massive volume. These guys are saying 12 properties on the market. Bracknell's a massive volume area, and I think it's also, we've spoken about ego today a couple of times on some of the podcasts. It's being happy to be 2 or 3% market share and not worried about that, because actually you are a very effective, profitable business that lists at the right price with the right fees, and that's what makes you profit rather than that's what gives you market share ultimately, I think.
When the client's saying things like you pay cheap, you pay twice, or having conversations, I had a conversation with one of my clients recently and he said, I just want to be realistic. And I'm like, brilliant. Let's have a proper
They all
conversation.
say that at the start, though, don't they?
No, but this guy was
It was.
was genuine. He'd had
Yeah.
he'd had a higher valuation. He went with my valuation, which was lower. So I think sometimes you just know when the clients are right for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything, as you're going through, Ian said there about asking fees on there, and I do agree with that. More often than not, that is the case. Sometimes people just don't know how to ask for a valuation, so that's the first thing that they ask.
Yeah.
But is there anything that you see as either a warning sign when you're having early conversations with clients, or sort of the green light where you think, actually, this is going to be, our type of client as you're going through the process?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, sure. So basically, I had a similar situation where I was on evaluation and we were getting on great. We were telling them, going through all the process, etc., going through the pricing. And as soon as I said the price, they were not happy with the price, even though I showed them all the evidence. And then as soon as I said that, they were like, "What's your fee?" It was their immediate reaction. And we have this quite a lot, which is fine. And my immediate, I said our fee straight away, and you can tell they just switch off.
Yeah.
From that point in my head, I was like, right, if they're going to do that, why am I going to waste my time? Because they're clearly very fee driven, which is okay, which is fine. That's not for us, as Ian said. So yeah, at that point, that's kind of always a bit of a red flag for me.
Are you out of there in 5 minutes then?
Yeah. I've done some quick valuations before because you just know they're not even realistic. And the thing is, it's a real shame because we watch them go on market, don't we? We watch them go on market and we see what happens. They go on for an inflated price. They've reduced down below our valuation and they're just like, oh. And I've had some come back to us and I'm saying, look, well, actually the fee I quoted you then was the fee I quoted you then, but now
it's hard to
double.
sell.
It's double. But I'm not afraid to say, well, actually, no, our fee's now this.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, it's more than. I said, yeah, well, you've kind of tarnished. You've had 4 months sitting there, so I'm just sorry. And they're like, okay.
And they'll say things like, well, you valued it at X.
Yeah.
Now we're on the market at X, but it's not worth X if you tried X plus 10% for.
But I can guarantee you 100% of the time, at the end of that sale process, when they're complete to hand over keys, fee is not even a thing. It's far from their brain. So we know we're doing right. That's the main thing.
But there are those clients on the phone when you sometimes speak to them and they go, I just want to know your fee. I won't give you the address. Just tell me what your fee is. And then you normally just quote a fee and they go, cool, that's it. And then you put your phone down.
5%.
Yeah, but I always have great, when you we normally quote 2% on those ones, but it's great when they go, well, that's so much more than everyone else. It's like, cool, go and use them, in a nice, polite way.
I say,
they're never going to be a client for us.
But everyone knows what everyone charges. There's a reason for it, right? There's a reason why your clients see the investment as being worthwhile, which I'm sure you've got stacked up, backed up with all the stats and all that sort of things. But clients aren't stupid, and there's a reason why you've got M&S and you've got Aldi.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Cheers, gents. Really enjoyed the convo.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.